Hi there, welcome to the end of the GrowUp Conference in Niagara Falls at the Scotiabank Center 2021. I'm sitting here with the core team, Randy Rowe, Neill Dixon, Dayna Dixon, and we are at the end of the GrowUp Conference. And I thought I would take this opportunity to sit down with this core group and get their thoughts on how this conference went. Now, from my perspective, as host of the Psychedelic Summit, as someone who had a booth on the floor, someone who operated a media group covering the GrowUp Conference, I thought this was a magnificent conference. We rank our conferences that we attend. We've been to HempFest, we've been to the ICC and the Dayna, we've been to Lift, and now we're at GrowUp. And you know, this is the best event that we have attended in 2021. The quality of the speakers from both the psychedelic side of things and the cannabis side of things was extraordinary. The amount of brilliant people who attended and spoke and participated in this conference was staggering to me and to our entire group. And I just want to be able to commend your team and let you know what an amazing conference you've done. I know you're tired, and I know you've put a lot of work into this week in Niagara Falls. So, Randy, let's start with you. So, some highlights from the week, GrowUp 2021.
Well, first off, thank you for your kind words. Psychedelic was one of the best psychedelic summits this year. It's been a struggle. We're happy to be here, and that the event is on our last day, which means that we can get some sleep tonight.
Sleep's overrated during a cannabis event.
But yeah, it's been tough through these times to try to be able to generate an event when we don't know when we can do it. We had initially started for a September date, pushed back to an October date, and now we're in the winter in Niagara Falls. So
I remember when you had to change the dates, and there was this sigh of sadness across the industry that maybe this isn't going to happen. So
yeah, I think I may remember calling you directly.
Yeah.
We're moving the dates, and you guys have been a great supporter, and the help that we get to promote this and in such a little time is very appreciated.
Oh, well, it's always our pleasure. We've had a great relationship, the GrowUp Conference, the OCannabis Conference, and High Canada Magazine for a number of years now. And you guys have been consistently one of our favorite events to attend. And it's great to see the evolution of cannabis conferences and the addition of psychedelics, and really paying attention to the growers and the micro cultivators, the extraction zones, and the master classes. All brilliant. What I love most about GrowUp is the three of you have your fingers on the pulse of Canadian cannabis. My team sees you everywhere. I see you out there. I see you at every event, every party, every cannabis thing out there. It's heartening to come to a purely Canadian run cannabis conference that really understands Canadian cannabis, the community, the industry, the politics. It's not like we're very different than the U.S. We're very different than Europe. To have your finger on the pulse like that is, from my perspective, an amazing thing. And I just know that the GrowUp Conference is going to continue to grow and expand. And if this year is any indicator, I can't even begin to imagine what you're going to bring next year. What was one of your favorite things about this event? Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Well, we knew what we were getting into when we got into it, because we also had to postpone Canadian Music Week and OCannabis, and it's always been a struggle to decide when is the right time to bring it back, when is too early to bring it back. The switching regulations and the sort of mystery of what's going on with when the COVID's going to be over. So we just said, we're just going to do it. We had to do it. We couldn't wait till 2022 to get back in the game again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the brand would be disappearing. You know what I mean? So, but the highlights of this conference to me, well, I'll tell you the biggest highlight, and it sounds like it's not that important if you're looking on a business side, but it was the networking.
Oh, 100%.
Because the networking events worked fantastically. And we were down before, I guess a couple months before the event, and the town was closed up, and it was like, if we don't put some networking events together that will bring our community together, you know what I mean? They're gonna be pretty bored out there at night. I
Oh,
mean, they'll
yeah.
be back in the room at 8 o'clock. So,
Well,
so the idea was, you know, let's make sure that they have an opportunity to mingle and maybe get back to the new normal or whatever that is. But people were so appreciative of, you know, having a drink, relaxing.
the growers
Yeah,
lunch,
the growers lunch.
David Hyde's, Hyde and Associates
Yep.
party, like, the industry mixer.
Yep.
People, they were so well attended. and
The
so
award show.
people were- Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
There's, yeah, definitely the in-person networking opportunities. A lot of people have been asking our team what the difference is between networking at a Lift conference and a GrowUp conference. And we always say the same thing, it's quality over quantity. The number of quality people that you can network with at a GrowUp conference, you know, you'll meet 40 people and stay in contact with all 40. Go to a Lift conference, you'll talk to 120, and you'll stay in contact with one. Because there's so much going on, and it really becomes the quality over quantity. So, Dayna, you took a lot more on this year. You were instrumental in organizing the Cannabis Summit, and I know you had a lot more responsibility going into this particular event. What are your takeaways?
Well, you did mention this, but the Psychedelic Summit was new for us this year, and we want to thank you for that. Cy was on our Psychedelic Advisory Board, so a lot of amazing recommendations from him, so that went so smoothly, and people are so interested in that. So it was a full room all day, so thanks to you. And
Great
the
people,
other
great
board members, yeah,
speakers,
it was fabulous. And then, of course, Ab Singh's masterclass technical sessions, full the entire 2 days. And that's those are the sessions that get real deep into the nitty-gritty science kind of aspect.
I've heard people call him the Bono of the cannabis
No,
industry.
he really is. Seriously.
Yeah.
So, and then we had the extraction zone, which was new this year. So that was Extraction Magazine helped us put that on. So
I love
everything
those
from
guys.
product.
Those guys are great.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
everything from like product purification to solventless extraction to the economics of extraction. It was some new content for us. So it was, I think what we're going to do, if there's a takeaway this year, is maybe do something similar to what Av does for the technical sessions, because extraction is so like scientific in nature. There's a lot of like technicalities and technical aspects to it that I think you need to kind of be at a round table with your pen and your paper and be able to ask questions. So I think that would be one takeaway from us.
Oh, yeah,
for
that would be it. That would be it.
because it was on the expo floor, right?
Yeah.
So a little too much going on,
A
but
little more intimate.
yeah, a little
perhaps?
bit more intimate, yeah, because it's they get into some deep stuff there. So the speakers were amazing. I mean, it was great that there was people able to cross the border. We had a couple cancellations because of COVID and whatever. So there was a lot that we had to work around, but all in all, I think it was great. It was a good turnout.
Yeah.
I'm tired, but
agree.
But yeah, so, well, considering the circumstances and what we're living in right now, I think it was great. And to all, meet in person, face to face. We've all been communicating via screen, so it was nice to actually be in person, finally. And it's nice to see everybody, like it's a congregation every year of the industry, right? To both network and to do business. So we would hope to bring these people every year back together just to, move the industry forward. So I think we're going in the right direction.
Now, I understand that you are heading to the West Coast in
That's right.
2022. What's going on in the West Coast?
Well, we're going out to Victoria, BC, Vancouver Island.
Okay.
June 20th to 24th. We're reintroducing the Psychedelic Summit out on the west side.
They are
So-
going to love it.
So it's, in my mind, it's kind of the birthplace of psilocybin, and being on the island really resonates with that summit. So we're going to be bringing out the extraction zone, and like Daniel mentioned, we'll probably do more of a master class series on that. So looking forward to that, and and it's really a growing community in the West Coast. So the idea behind the West Coast show is that we're developing it for West Coast growers. So our advisory board is going to change. It's going to be developed, strictly on people that in BC and that, know the industry, know the growers out there, so, but we don't wanna do an Ontario show in BC, we wanna do a BC show.
Yeah, that wouldn't fly, but a BC show in BC, oh, I think that is gonna be very well received.
And they deserve it, they deserve to have the attention and the community that we have. They participate in here on a large basis, but to do it in their home province and build that community out there, I think is very key to the growers in the West Coast. And it's not only just in BC, we're looking at Washington and, Oregon and California, so we bring a lot of the top growers on the West Coast up to Victoria too.
Oh, that is going to be a truly amazing show. And some of my highlights, speaking of the show highlights, the GrowUp awards ceremony. I was so impressed that GrowUp as an organization was able to honor Frenchy Cannoli in such an amazing way. And to hear his widow speak at the award ceremony was amazing. I know so many people have mentioned that to me, how important that was to honor the places we've come from. The Indigenous Roots, honoring our Indigenous Roots panel on the Psychedelics Day that I was blessed to be able to host, was also a great high point, listening to Jamie Kunkel, J. Lee Thompson talk about Indigenous psychedelics and their transition in the cannabis industry as well. And seeing Bruce Linton get a Lifetime Achievement Award, and we got to interview him as well at the show. And these were just some of the truly world-class things that were happening at this, and those were highlights for our team and myself personally.
Well, the tribute to Frenchy and the induction into the Hall of Fame for us was a no-brainer. We had him here in 2019, and he just touched so many people.
Mm-hmm.
So many lives at that show.
Yeah, and so, I mean, the effect that he had just on our show here in Niagara Falls is minuscule compared to the effect that he's had on the cannabis industry across the world.
Oh,
so.
absolutely. Oh, and he will be greatly missed and always honored. Well, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for an amazing show. Thank you for sitting down and talking to us. This is Cy Williams, High Canada Magazine, and we'll see you in the legal shops.